Hey everybody, welcome back to 5 Minute Gaming News, the show that is still a thing. Today in the news, the first Nintendo Direct of 2022. That's right, it's here, it's happening later today. It's expected to be about 40 minutes long. The only thing I really know is that chat's gonna lose their mind at every RPG that isn't Breath of the Wild 2. But for those of you who are looking for some idea of what to expect today, we can assume that there won't be much Pokemon news as Pokemon Arceus is out, but there is potential news from other big franchises. To start, we can expect to see something on Triangle Strategy, which is the stylized throwback game similar to Octopath Traveler. Except this time, it's more tactical, like Fire Emblem. Although, point of order, I'm still waiting for them to redo Final Fantasy VI, but in this style, woo! That would be sweet. Also, we might see something about Advance Wars 1 and 2 with the graphical overhaul that was originally planned for last year, but I think now is coming out in April. Then we might get the game my boy Crendor has been talking about for far too long, Kirby and the Forgotten Land. From what I've seen so far, it's basically open world Kirby. No idea how that will work out, but I'm excited to see. Then, of course, there's the ones I think we'll see for sure, like Splatoon 3 and the new Mario Rabbids game and different non-exclusives like Oxenfree 2 and maybe even a Sonic title. And really, while all of those are great, there's really only one franchise I'm concerned about: Bayonetta 3. Ooh. Yes, please, and thank you. Anyway, we'll find out exactly what they're showing off later today at 2 p.m. Pacific and 5 p.m. EST. Speaking of Nintendo, Bowser's at it again. No, not that Bowser. I'm talking about Nintendo hacker Gary Bowser. Back in October, Gary Bowser lost his court case after his hacker group, which sold mod chips and jailbreaking software for consoles, was charged with 2 counts of conspiracy to circumvent technology measures and to traffic in circumvention devices. And if right now, before we continue, you're wondering what Nintendo has to do with this, they're the ones who brought the suit against Bowser as they go after more and more people who make ROMs and who hack their consoles and that kind of thing. Now, according to PC Gamer, the US government has decided Bowser should be jailed for 60 months for each count, to be served at the same time. Court documents show that the government believes it's appropriate given the nature of the circumstances of the offense, the history and characteristics of the defendant, and that the sentence should reflect the seriousness of the offense, to promote respect for the law, and to provide just punishment for the offense. And if you continue and look at the numbers, he's being ordered to pay $14.5 million in damages, even though over the course of his 7 years, he only made $320,000. And you might be saying, that seems crazy. Well, there are other factors to this as well. There are 2 other people involved who have yet to face trial, and apparently they were all involved in another 11 felony counts, and Bowser has a history of forged documents and fraud dating back to 2004. So even though a lot of the stories about this focus on the game side of things, these dudes were up to all sorts of illegal stuff. If you're interested in deep diving and learning more, the actual court documents are linked in the description below. You can deep dive and figure out exactly like, what were these mods? What were they doing? Why was this illegal? If you want to read up on it, it's down below. Lastly in the news, a little short one for you before we go. If you've ever played Bioshock Infinite, or maybe watched someone's Let's Play, wink wink, you know about the infamous Baguette Boy. One of my favorite characters. It's so silly and random. Well, we finally got the backstory on him. In a post about the boy on Twitter from @instant_grat, Gwen Frey, former Bioshock Infinite team member, replied with the character's origin story. Definitely give it a read. It's a fantastic look into how video games are made, what developers work with, and how they use limited tools to bring their ideas to life. I highly recommend checking it out. It is a super interesting read that summing it up here will not do it justice, so give that a shot. All right, that's it for us. Thank you so much again for another great episode. And we're halfway through the week, more news to come. But hey, specifically thank you to our patrons, who today are Mystic Void Eye, Chris Lawrence, and Zykes from patreon.com/Jesse Cox. Shameless plug. All right, thank you again, and I will see you tomorrow.